Fritz here with Science of Cardio, talking today about cardiovascular exercise and sauna use, similarities and kind of pros and cons of the two modalities or heat stresses. So the biggest similarity of the two, cardiovascular exercise, sauna use, blood flow, increases blood flow, opens up your arteries, dilates your arteries and veins. That helps with increasing heart rate. All of these are products of trying to keep your body at homeostasis and trying to keep yourself cool in temperature. Obviously your breathing's going to go up to get more oxygen flowing in your arteries. Both of them have a cardiovascular stress, so it is challenge on your heart tissues. So that can be used as a benefit. It also can be a stressor to someone with a deconditioned heart or having heart issues. So talk to your doctor before you start doing either modality. There's a huge effect on hormones and the thyroid, which is a kind of a good regulator. If you're not doing much activity, these might be some ways to influence kind of muscle growth or regulating that thyroid or getting better hormone function. Both cardiovascular exercise and sauna use have properties that repair and take kind of damaged dead cells out. You always hear about sauna use being a good detoxer, sweating is a good detoxer. So the scientific word for that is autophagy. It's basically getting rid of those crappy or dead cells, the ones that aren't doing much. Also apoptosis is kind of killing off those weaker cells and cleaning that out through your blood. So that is a very powerful tool that we can get. We also have a great benefit of cell DNA repair and resynthesis or repair growth of the cells and DNA tissues. And then finally the big pro is we have increased brain function, and they're starting to do some big studies looking at decreasing Alzheimer's disease and dementia. They think that there's a link with glucose and also blood flow, oxygen flow to the brain. So they're finding that doing things that increase blood flow help kind of reduce that risk for those kind of memory brain issues. So those are some similarities and some common things between the two. I want to point out that cardiovascular is or can be high impact, so it's really high in stress on the joints. The sauna use, you're usually sitting there, so it's non-impact or low impact, and then you have kind of no joint stress, which is really cool. Cardiovascular, the big difference between the two is in cardiovascular exercise, biking, treadmill, elliptical, rower, we can get to max heart rate. So there's definitely some benefits to that. There's also, obviously cons. But you can't get to max heart rate in the sauna. So that's the only kind of caveat or the big difference between the two. Again, the sauna might be better suited for certain people if you have heart problems or some kind of a issue with your heart or cardiovascular pulmonary system. This might be a lesser stress than cardiovascular exercise. And then the last thing to finish up is cardiovascular exercise produces cortisol. It is a fight or flight response. So you're basically under a lot of adrenaline and you're going. This is what creates the runner's high. Too much of that too frequently can be a negative hormone, or it can lead to weight gain, or you might have trouble losing weight. So that's something to point out. And then the sauna use really stimulates or promotes human growth hormone, or HGH. This is the hormone that helps with youthfulness or building muscle tissue. So this is usually lower in older adults. So pros and cons, just trying to expose and give you some options and see some light of these things. I think this is a lot more sustainable route with the sauna. This can be damaging to our joints, so you can intertwine or intermix the two to get optimal benefit. You can use kind of one or the other. I do both. I try to limit how much high intensity cardiovascular exercise that I do to save my joints, my knees, my hips, my ankles, my back. And I try to do the sauna most days of the week.